Your cat seems to look right through you, and when you call out his name, he does not even turn his head. You might sit on the sofa and pat the spot beside you, but he simply chooses to walk into another room. It is easy to assume he is just in a bad mood or that this is simply his feline personality, so you continue acting exactly as you did yesterday. However, this behavior is not actually about his character. When a cat moves away from you, he is reacting to something specific that you are doing in that exact moment. There are 10 reasons for this distance, and the fifth point on this list is a revelation after which you will never be able to blame his nature again. For example, when you look directly at him and he turns away, you might think he is ignoring you. In reality, you have just communicated something hostile, because a direct, unblinking stare is a signal of a threat to a cat. Predators look this way before an attack, and dominant cats do the same before a fight. This response was locked into the nervous system of these solitary hunters long before they began living with humans. A cat has no internal mechanism to translate a human staring into his eyes as an expression of love. Instead, it translates only as a signal to freeze or escape. When your cat avoids your gaze, he is not being rude. He is avoiding a conflict with a creature acting like a threat. On the other hand, slow blinking sends the opposite signal, telling him you are relaxed and safe. Try looking at him, slowly closing your eyes and then opening them again. If he feels secure, he will likely do the same. Similarly, your cat might leave the room even if you are not shouting at him specifically. You could just be talking normally on the phone or to another person, yet he walks away. A cat's hearing range goes up to 65,000 Hz, which is 3 times wider than our own. Their ears can catch the rustle of a mouse in the grass from 10 meters away, so loud voices are not just noise to them. It is actual physical pressure on a nervous system built for quiet, solitary hunting rather than human social gatherings. The cat does not leave because he is offended. His nervous system is quite literally overloaded by the volume. You might notice that when the house is noisy, your cat is likely hiding in the quietest room available because this is physiology, not a whim. This same logic applies to physical contact that the cat did not ask for. You might see him lying there looking relaxed and decide to pet him, only for him to leave or look at you with mere tolerance. Cats need to initiate contact themselves because their style of attachment is fundamentally different from that of dogs. A 2019 study showed that cats allowed to decide the timing and duration of contact stayed with humans nearly twice as long as those petted by their owner's initiative. Forced contact does not bring you closer. It creates an association that you do not listen to his signals. A cat who is touched when he did not ask for it learns to avoid the person doing the touching. It is better to wait for him to come to you, as that connection is genuine. Furthermore, punishing a cat after the fact, such as when you find a broken glass or a mess on the carpet, is entirely ineffective. You might rub his nose in it or use a stern voice, but what you see as defiance is nothing of the sort. A cat does not remember what happened 20 minutes ago in terms of cause and effect. His brain cannot link a past action with a current punishment, so he only learns that when his owner comes home, something bad happens. You are not teaching him what not to do. You are teaching him to fear your arrival. Only a reaction at the exact moment of the action works. Otherwise, you are just punishing a creature that does not understand why. He will only remember who caused the distress, not what he did to deserve it. Another invisible issue involves the use of essential oils and scented candles. You might light a candle or turn on a lavender diffuser for relaxation, thinking it smells pleasant. However, a cat's liver lacks a key enzyme called glucuronosyltransferase, which is necessary to break down phenols and terpenes. This means substances that a human body processes in a few hours actually accumulate inside a cat's body. Oils like lavender, eucalyptus, tea tree, mint, and citrus create a toxic load through the air that you cannot see. Your cat leaves because her sense of smell is 14 times sharper than yours, and she literally cannot breathe in that environment. Symptoms of chronic poisoning like lethargy, loss of appetite, or poor coordination are often mistaken for aging or the weather. She cannot tell you she feels sick, so she simply goes where the air is breathable. Routine is another critical factor, as feeding him whenever you remember causes significant stress. You might think the most important thing is that he is fed, but for a hunter with a hardwired biological clock, that is not enough. Her stomach prepares for food in advance by releasing enzymes and gastric acid. When food does not arrive at the expected time, that acid has nothing to work on, causing physical discomfort. A cat fed on a chaotic schedule lives in a state of chronic background anxiety. An anxious cat is one that is less likely to seek contact, gets irritated faster, and hides more often. Establishing 2 fixed feeding times at specific hours provides the only thing his nervous system perceives as safety. When a cat pulls away, he is not being mean. He is reacting to things his system reads as danger or discomfort. He will not explain this or ask you to stop. He will just move further away quietly and without drama. Cats are designed to hide their discomfort and suffer in silence. You might not even notice until the day he stops coming to you altogether. This brings us to the 7th point, which is the act of hugging. You might pick him up and squeeze him because he is soft and warm, but he begins to struggle. You might hold tighter out of love, but this is one of the most destructive patterns for feline trust. When a cat is held against his will, his nervous system triggers a predator capture response. This is not a metaphor. It involves the same neurochemistry and cortisol spikes as a life-threatening threat. Holding her forcibly does not teach her to get used to it. It teaches her that you are someone she cannot escape from. Cats do not adapt to forced hugs. They simply learn to stay away from the person who does it. It is better to put him down and let him leave, as he will return if he isn't restrained. Similarly, forcing a cat to meet guests is a major mistake. If you drag him out of hiding to show him good people, he will look at you with unforgiving eyes. Cats judge safety through scent, movement, and predictability. A stranger represents unknown smells and movements that are completely unpredictable to a cat. Forcing contact does not help them overcome fear. It just removes their only tool for managing anxiety, which is the ability to leave. Cats allowed to decide whether to come out usually end up greeting guests more often because control reduces their stress. Respecting their space by leaving the door open is something they can truly feel. The 9th issue is the state of the litter box. You might change the litter once a week and think it looks fine since it doesn't smell strongly to you. However, a cat's sense of smell is 14 times sharper than ours, making a slightly smelly box unbearable for them. If she avoids the box, she is not being vengeful. She is looking for an alternative because she cannot stand the odor. The rule that works is having 1 litter box per cat plus 1 extra. You should scoop daily and change the litter completely at least once a week. The final point is about disappearing and then returning as if nothing happened. If you were away for 5 days and left food and water, you might return to a cat that is cold and distant. This is not human-style resentment, but rather a disorientation of attachment. Cats bond with a specific person as an anchor of safety, much like a child bonds with a parent. When that anchor vanishes, the nervous system adapts to its absence, which is a matter of neurobiology rather than a whim. Upon your return, she needs time to rebuild that sense of safety because you have become someone who might disappear again. Do not pick her up immediately, just be there, quiet and predictable, and let her come to you. You likely did these things without malice, perhaps seeing them as minor details. But to a cat, they signal that being near you is not entirely safe. He is still here, choosing this home and this person despite everything. This is the choice of a creature that could have withdrawn completely but did not. Try one thing today. Sit down, do not call him, and do not reach out. Just be present and wait to see what happens as he finds his own way back to you.